Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining me for today's action figure review video. So, based on today's topic, you guys already know what figure we are going to be reviewing today, but I do have a plethora of figures I did want to kind of show off quickly. We're not going to review them. I'm just going to kind of bring them up just for a glimpse so that you guys kind of have a feel of some of the figures that we are going to be reviewing over the next couple of weeks. So some of these figures I've been putting off reviewing for a number of weeks for the sheer reason being maybe I just don't have all of the figures. Maybe there's variants of the figures that I wanted and I've been putting it off because I don't have the test shots of the particular figures. Like these quick kayfabe figures. Now there's, variants A, B, and C, but then they got, $400 test shots. Do I really need those figures? Not really, but there are a bunch of these figures that I've been picking up over the last month or two, so I'm pretty much complete with these figures, and I think I got one prototype type of figure, so I'm pretty much good on those. So I'm gonna probably be looking at those kayfabe figures probably next week, so expect a review on those figures. I'd probably say maybe next Wednesday, so that's due up. Also, maybe not this week, but I'm trying to think. If not this Friday, possibly next Friday. If you guys remember a couple Fridays ago, we did a Freddy Krueger review video, kind of looking at the LJN figure, right? And on the back of the card, there was also a couple other 1989 releases, and that was the Freddy Krueger Spitballs. So we're also going to kind of look at those figures as well. That's going to be like a quick 5-minute video, if that. So just something to post for that day, not anything crazy. And you guys already know I've been talking about the Wrestle Something wrestlers from the figure collection. So Series 2 has come out. I've already got all of his figures. So there was like Buff Bagwell had a couple of variations. I just got this figure in either today or yesterday, so I got his variant. And it's not even a variant. The figures are the same, but they got different card backs. I know, I have a problem, right? It's not even a different variant of the figure, but the card is different. What was it? Was it Zombie Sailors? Where, who was it? Oh, man. I'm trying to think of the name. One of the more recent characters from Zombie Sailors, where the card back had like a blue card, which was like a $75 figure, and then one of his variants had like a red card, which was like twice the price. And same figure, not even a change to the figure, it's just the card back variants. Stupid, right? So that's going to be some of the changes, or some of the figures that we are going to review over the next couple of weeks. Probably Saturday, I might do a review. So this week, we're also going to look at Series 9 of the Big Rubber Guys. Earlier, we did look at the Bloody Ric Flair, but even though he didn't come in this series, I'm going to actually include that figure as part of this series, since he does fall in line with the other figures that were just released with Series 9. So instead of 3 figures, I'm going to actually show off 4 figures to include that that Bloody Ric Flair. And I don't think I ever showed off, or I don't think I've ever shown off the Red Trunks variant. I know, Big Rubber Guys, they've got like 5,000 versions of Ric Flair, and I've said there are certain figures, certain characters, Macho Man and Ultimate Warrior, Ric Flair, purple trunks, blue trunks, black trunks, it's like green trunks. I mean, I get it. A lot of these guys, they wear different color schemes. It's nice to get the variations, but sometimes it's like overdone. Stop it. But today's topic. Today was one I've been looking forward to forever. And from Epic Toys, I gotta admit, man, Epic Toys is killing it with their 2-packs. Their tag team sets have been absolutely amazing, and they did not disappoint. And this actually came out at a great time, because if you guys look at my short videos I've been posting the last few days from Sin Bodhi, so from Nick, I got a couple of these really awesome resin statue figures that bleed in beautifully with my LJN collection. And I've been posting a couple shorts on TikTok, Facebook, as well as my YouTube shorts. And getting those short videos out. And then to get the sort of Hasbro style retro figures as well. Perfect timing to get these figures in from Epic Toys. Guys, these are absolutely killer. And I'm absolutely loving the fact that they're continuing on the trend with these easy remove card backs. I just wish that this was always a thing for all the card backs, because you wouldn't be sitting there destroying all of the cards and bubbles with all of your figures, And for a lot of people, and myself included, I probably wouldn't have to go out and buy 2 figures every time, because if I ever want to bring them back to mint on card, guess what? It's literally that simple, right? I mean, these are just displays, so it's not like they're not going to be 100% mint every time. But the figures look absolutely sensational. The look of the figures, very modernized, look very authentic. You see these guys walking down the street, you can easily point them out, which is incredible. So, as a guy who grew up in the early 90s, right, playing with Hasbro figures, I'm so used to the sort of cartoon look of the Hasbro figures. So that's what I grew up with. That's what I'm familiar with. So when I look at these more modern figures, I actually kind of crave the more 1990s aesthetic, the more cartoon look of the figures. So do I want these more modern figures to kind of bleed in more with the 1990s aesthetic, where they're more cartoonish, more cartoony looking? Sometimes, yeah, I really do. But I mean, I also understand that a lot of these companies, they want to be more modern, and they want it to give it a more fresher look. I get it. That's fine too. And these guys, they look absolutely sensational. And it doesn't stop there. This card is killer, because when you look at the lineup on the back of this card, every single figure on this lineup, every single figure was sensational. And yeah, even Dallas Diamond Page with the stupid removable magnet arms on both sides, both arms. Even with the magnet arms, I'm still going to say Dallas Diamond Page was a good figure-ish. You guys know how I feel about that figure. I said it was a great figure, but the removable magnetic arms kind of killed it for me. But you take away the magnet arms, aesthetically, it was a fantastic looking figure. But everything else, I mean, the overall lineup of this card back is absolutely was just dynamite, man. Rhythm and Blues, Greg Valentine. Killer figure. I mean, it just blows the Mattel Retros variant out of the water. And Ric Flair. If you guys have been paying attention to Facebook, I think it's Series 3. I don't know if it's part of Series 2, but I think there's been like a Series 3 release of Epic Toys. Oh man, I can't remember who's in the next lineup, but they're the next wave of figures, of characters. It is some of, I think Barbarian is one of those guys that are in the next wave. Ric Flair, and the figures, if you look at them, the characters, like your mind is absolutely blown at how incredible the characters look. Like I am dying to get that next wave of characters. And that's probably going to be like another year before those figures are released. But man, I am crazy excited to get that wave in. But when you got Demolition and the British Bulldogs, Killer Bees, Powers of Pain, I mean, amazing. So this, I was actually kind of surprised in one respect, because they kind of went the Remco way with these figures, with the addition of kind of like these little cloth accessories. So let me put this down here. So you got the figures, and adding on the cloth accessory, you guys remember when I did my Demolition review, right? And you kind of had the removable heads. You guys know how I feel about anything removable. Mattel, anything. Mattel Elites, I don't care. Mattel Superstars with like removable hands, and no, I hate that. I despise that with a fiery passion. And like when Epic Toys came out with the Demolition figures, couple of the best looking darn figures ever, but they had these removable heads with these magnetic removable heads, and I'm like, are you kidding me, guys? You took these two amazing figures and you threw these magnetic heads on them, and you took these two perfect figures and you basically destroyed them with these magnetic heads. And I'm like, I hated that. And they basically, all they had were, one set of head were the Demolition heads, and then you replaced the heads, and you had you swapped them out with heads that were with the masks on. And then I got these figures in, and I had these little cloths, and I was putting them on the heads, and I thought about it. The first thing I thought was, you know what? I think Epic Toys was watching my review videos. And I think they learned from their mistake. And then I thought, after putting these masks on, damn, maybe I'm the jackass. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Epic Toys was onto something with the removable heads. Because maybe the magnets actually do work better, because take off the head and have magnet, have little magnet heads right here. We could put this on, swap that out. I don't know. Or maybe they just thought it was more financially stable to create cloth accessories as opposed to additional head accessories that you would just swap out. So maybe it was just more affordable that way. So maybe my videos had absolutely nothing to do with it. But nonetheless, these figures, if you actually look at the body pose of these figures, very reminiscent to Hasbro, right? When you kind of look at, figures like Rick Martel Series 5, the Macho Man Series 1, Marty Jannetty and Shawn Michaels Series 10, that's the Series 7, Shawn Michaels, etc., right? So a very similar play pose in that respect. Good, strong arms. The waist is nice and tight. Head is good. Beautiful head mold. Good, solid hair. Good positioning of the arms. I mean, this is a beautiful, solid, all-around figure. This is absolute perfection. I will go down and say that this might be one of the greatest action figures I've ever seen. I will give Epic Toys so much credit on this figure. They did an absolutely amazing job. And with Jim Brunzell, same thing. I mean, I like, or I love the B. Brian Blair figure a lot more, but I don't take anything away from Jim Brunzell. I mean, do you want two figures with the exact same pose? Absolutely not. I love the fact that they gave both figures their own unique fighting pose. I mean, the stances are about the same, you know. It's not like when you're looking at the figures, they're completely different or anything like that. So, you know, very slight differentiation. I'm trying to line up the feet here. Try to see if there's any differentiation in like the paint of the boots or anything, but it looks like B. Brian Blair has more black, where Jim Brunzell has more yellow on his boots. So yeah, see, like B. Brian Blair has black, goes all the way down the toe, where Jim Brunzell goes only like halfway down. So I like that a lot. B. Brian Blair, his boots, the black, you know, kind of wraps around the boots. So there is, you know, some, even around the boots, there's differentiation. But, you know, he's like, I mean, obviously these figures don't have, you know, the Hasbro or the Mattel Retro action features or anything. But think about like the figures with the right extended arm and the wind up, kind of gives you that clothesline or whatnot. So it kind of gives you that clothesline, and so, and the arms additionally, they do move around, right? So you got that clothesline, or you kind of move it around, so you got a beautiful punch and whatnot. So this is just a overall fantastic playable action figure set. Any parent that wants to give this to their kids for play, if they want to, or for, you know, adults who are just simply displaying these pieces. I mean, the Killer Bees are, I mean, they're name recognized tag teams. So whether you're a fan of the Killer Bees or not, I mean, Killer Bees, Rockers, Demolition, Legion of Doom, these are, like I said, these are name recognized tag teams. You don't have to be a fan of them. It doesn't matter. I didn't grow up watching Killer Bees, but like I've always known the name Killer Bees growing up, even though I probably never in my life watched them wrestle. I don't know, maybe I've seen them in like battle royals or something, in like old footage or something. I don't know, but like I always knew the name when I was a kid. So if you've gotten the opportunity, Epic Toys, you might have to go onto like the UK website to actually buy it from them, but that's too expensive with shipping. I mean, shipping, you're probably going to pay like $40, $50 in shipping. So I recommend going to the Figure Collection store and purchasing from them. I think shipping is free through the Figure Collection store, and I think purchase price is somewhere around $50 or something, $55, $60. So, I mean, it's a great pickup. And like I said, free shipping, and there are other retro figures you could buy from the Figure Collection store as well. I've bought from them a million times, so you know that's probably your best option. Like I said, you don't have to go to Epic Toys directly. But guys, that will take care of this review video. I don't know how you guys are getting your mail outside of, you know, throughout the U.S., but for me, Kentucky has been absolutely horrible since November. Like, for me, even, like, Ohio. Like, normally, I could say from Kentucky to Ohio, probably get mail in about a day or two. And now, or from, like, Kentucky to Tennessee, again, you could get mail in, like, a day or two. But over the last 2 months, you've gone from a day or two to like 7 to 10 days to get mail. So think about going from like Kentucky to California. Normally that's like a 3 to 4 day turnaround, even 5 days turnaround. Nowadays, if you're shipping from Kentucky to California, you're probably looking at like a 30-day turnaround. And shipping has been absolutely horrible. And I people that bought from me off of eBay and Mercari, you know, they're reaching out like, hey, my package is lost in transit. I'm like, no, man, it's not lost. Trust me. I've had stuff that I bought in December that I'm personally waiting on to receive. I know the stuff's not lost, but it's frustrating as a buyer. I'm getting frustrated waiting for the stuff to arrive, but we're at the mercy of the post office and other mail carriers, FedEx, people that are shipping through FedEx and UPS, same thing. They're not getting it to us any faster. So if you are buying right now in the U.S., doesn't matter who your mail carrier is, UPS, FedEx, DHL, it doesn't matter. These carriers are not getting your mail out. So be advised if you are purchasing stuff, even Amazon. I bought stuff from Amazon, and usually a day or two to get my stuff in. I had to wait probably 2 weeks to get stuff from Amazon. So it's happening, guys. But hopefully you guys enjoy the figures and be prepared for some of these other reviews that I kind of glanced over earlier in the video. Thanks for checking me out, guys. I'll talk to you in the comments, and see you in the next video. Take care, everybody.